Welcome back, my friends and fellow gamers. I'm Wrath, and we're getting started back for Season 3 of Hellion, or our Return to Hellion series. And we're going to go ahead and skip this because it annoys me. But the brand new patches dropped. I did a stream last night regarding all of this. And unfortunately, we are not able to do anything just yet. Now I'm going to shut up while it does its crazy talking here.
Can anyone hear me? This is Fiona Myers, First Officer of Derelict. Not that that matters anymore. But if you can hear me, I need you to trust me. The station you're in is about to fall from orbit, and you don't have much time, so grab your gear and head to the command module. You should be able to call for a rescue ship.
Turn off that light because we don't need it. We'll save our battery. Now there's been a bunch of changes that they've done with this update that are really cool, but also really surprising. Like, expect to see more turrets. I was exploring in Bether and I ran across a station where I opened up a door and there sat a turret and it just lit me right up.
Regular access codes don't work anymore, and that's my fault. Sorry, but there should be a hacking tool somewhere. Just try to look around.
Okay, so there's a little weird glitch where the when you use the hacking tool, the system does not move your hand out of the way.
It'll take a few minutes for the ship to get there, but it will get there. It's Altcorp, after all. They're the only good thing that ever happened in Hellion. Had we put them in charge, we could have probably avoided this entire mess. Anyway, head outside. Just make sure you have enough oxygen. The ship probably won't have any.
Okay, so this part is pretty box standard from what you should expect from having played in the previous patch. However, things get a lot more interesting the further along we go here, because there have been changes to the stations. The stations have had a bit of a rework. The lighting effects in this are beautiful now that I've got a rig that can run it at like max graphics. Let's look around for our ship. Should be here any moment. There it is. On the other side of the station. Now, one of the things that they've done is they've added the mechanic of radiation and exposure. Let's see if there's anything over here before we abandon this place here. So basically what happens is you have these things called Nanite cores, which protect your ship from degradation. So the normal, like how everything slowly gets damaged over time, that actually does not happen so long as you have a functioning Nanite core. But the Nanite cores have a limited life expectancy and they only can shrug off so much. So, like, for instance, this ship here has a military-grade nanite core, which means that it can shrug off a lot more than a civilian-grade one can. And then they've got different tier levels as well, so you can kind of see how it scales up. So, like, this one's got a grade 1 military unit, so it's gonna have a little bit less than, say, a one that's it's gonna be a little bit stronger than a civilian model of the same grade. But like your home station starts off with like a really, and that, see that, like that electrical pattern or whatever, that kind of glowing on the side of the ship, that's the pattern of the stuff here.
Alright, so you have to check the power supply and the warp drive. Okay. Oh wait, but to gain access, you'll have to register first. Right, there's a security panel on the bridge.
Take control of the ship. And we've got mining gear, which is good. And we can turn on the ship, deploy the power, turn it on. Can't do anything else. This is the nanite core right there, and you see that little pattern there. That lets you know that the nanite core is working. Now that the nanite core will also protect your ship against collision damage, which is great, but it also means that you can suddenly have your nanite core absolutely flogged due to a bad decision. So you can see right there, my my ship does not have a full shield. That little that little perimeter line right there around the health, that's my shield. That's the nanite shield. Alright, gotta slow down here. Alright. Now I skipped that other derelict because I've yet to find anything in it from multiple attempts, so I just find it to be kind of worthless. Okay. We're just gonna cruise on in here real quick, get our stuff, and then get out. Match. Okay. Let's go get our stuff. Now, one of the things that's really cool is that they start you off with a lot better of a setup when you get to the actual Haven station. So it's not as bad of a situation. And I'll show you what I mean when we get there. Oh, there's the door. Door. Go in through the door. Alright, there is another thing there. We're kind of upside down. Take that. That's pretty much everything we're going to need. We need to be able to find a place to get one of these. I would like to grab parts from there, but I can't because the game won't let me, because it's not contextually necessary yet, which is kind of frustrating. Because we'll need that for a quest. And the last time I went looking for it, I had a real hell of a time finding that quest item, and nearly got my face shot off for the attempt. Okay. So now we've got the warp cell. So we can pop on in. Get our ship ready to go. And get out of here.
You need to find a safe place. Check the nav map. Look for an outpost or something. Anything with a stable orbit will do. Okay, listen. I know you're not a pilot or a navigator, but right now, you have to be both. You need to set up and execute a warp maneuver. It might look complicated at first, but you'll see. It basically comes down to tweaking the departure and arrival times until the warp line turns green. Then just point the ship in the right direction. It's not that hard once you get a hang of it. I trust you'll manage.
I have a real problem with those red indicators because I'm colorblind and I can't frickin' see them. It's not that they're invisible, it's that they don't stand out.
Okay. Once you're in a stable orbit, you'll be on your own. And this is all I can do for you. Look, Hellion is not what you thought it would be. Or what any of us hoped for. I can't even begin to explain how it all went wrong. I'm not even sure if all of this is real, or just some
Shut up, lady.
crazy dream that I can't wake up from. Or even
Just
if it's
let her go.
my dream at all.
Away.
I could very well just be imagining things. God, it's getting so hard to think.
Mm-hmm.
Focus, Leona. But if there is actually someone listening to me, search for my logs. It's all in there. You might be able to figure out what happened. To do what I couldn't. Perhaps even find us a way out of this. This is, or at least I think I am, Fiona Myers, First Officer of Daedalus, signing off.
Alright, well, that was a really depressing pep talk. Time for us to get going. Let me grab a drink here. Alright, so this is going to drop us out. Now, one of the things that I've been advised of is that they now see there's a fabricator within 2.5 kilometers now. So that looks to be part of the starting package now, is to have your fabricator be a part of the whole thing. Which is cool. Approach this thing. I cannot see what our orientation is. Okay. Looks like we're coming in from underneath. So let's pop this way a little bit. Yeah, that's the bottom of it. Let's not whack into it, okay? Very close, but okay. Let's go ahead and turn this bad boy here. Do a nice, good light rotation. They finally fixed that, which I'm happy about. Gosh, that picture is super sharp and clean, and it looks amazing. Let's go ahead and start our approach. Okay, slow down the progress there. It's alright to be a little bit nose heavy on this. Okay, locked on. Let's go ahead and get to work. Pop the doors. Yep, I know the station's all kinds of borked up. Okay, so let's get control here. Okay, standard docking port A. Let's go ahead and bring these two fish together. There we go, and let's go ahead and bring these two in. Now, because I'm on a private server, I'm not going to worry so much about my base location. But you definitely should. If you're playing on the public servers, definitely pay attention to where you're putting your base, because there will be people who will jack you for your stuff. Oop, let's slow that down. Okay, close that. Now before we go, let's grab this guy. Okay, fully docked. And before we go too much further, I'm going to go ahead and move this thing over and grab the Fabricator as well, so we can get everything all at once. So the Fabricator is over there by about 3 kilometers. Let's check our range. Nothing else in range. Adjust our speeds. Let's go say hello. Now, because we're hauling a big amount of stuff with us, obviously we want to be very mindful of our approach speeds. Okay, and now we should be slowing down. Okay, we're getting nice and close here. Should be able to see this thing pretty quickly. There we go. Okay. Oh, slow it down. Slow it down. Jam on the brakes. Alright. what's the orientation on that thing? The side is pointing towards us. So if we roll this way, there we go, and then turn hard sideways, then if we do the docking, yeah, we should be relatively easy to line up. Alright. So now one of the reasons why they're giving you a fabrication module this early on is because you actually kind of need it. Virtually everything now revolves around the Fabricator, and a lot of the gameplay revolves around getting things for the Fabricator in general. So like here, we're just going to line up, land on this thing, and attach it to the station. And then we're going to progress with getting everything else squared away. Okay. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and pick up all this junk. Can go there, and that can go there. Alright, everybody's happy. Take the warp cell. Now, part of this process is that I'm going to go ahead and go through the various different steps that I need to go through in order to get through this starting quest, and then I'm going to go through the stuff that I want to do. Mostly because the game will push you around if you don't do what it wants when it wants. So rather than giving this thing a potential to just mess with me, I'm just going to go ahead and register, set my spawn point. Thank you. Okay. Pick that up. Put it in there. Refill it. Alright. Alright, so now it wants me to take care of the solar panels. I'm going to turn my lights on. That there for now. Alright, all the parts in inventory can stay where they're at. Let's go ahead and pop that in there. Okay. So we're just gonna get the torch out and start working. Getting a little low on the oxygen, but not worried yet. Alright. Let's go and take care of the outside. This station has a fire risk and a frickin' breach. Let's put that there, and let's Let's go ahead and refine the ice here. Okay. Deploy. Okay, solar panels have some kind of problem with them. Alright, let's get under here. And repair them. Alright, so now they're going to go ahead and get deployed. Go ahead and look for exterior damage. There's an exterior problem. Oh, and there goes my dogs. Having a bit of a cathartic little barking spell. Must be a squirrel or something. Okay, so we're right at about 30 minutes here, so I'm going to probably cut this episode pretty short. I'm just going to get the station powered up and stabilized here, and then we will cut in for some additional stuff later. Let's go ahead and seal this hole here. Okay. Alright, so that's all the things that we can get a hold of right away. Okay. Get in this door here. Let's go ahead and shut the outer door. Alright, so let's go ahead and power up the main part of the station here. Power that up. Let's start refining. Because we need that hydrogen to power our lovely little thingamadoohickey here. Alright, that'll be enough to like fully charge it, I think. Or pretty close. Okay, go ahead and refine that while we're at it. I'll take this. Start repairing everything. I think this is the fire threat right here. Yep. Imagine that an unstable gravity generator might cause a fire. Oh, who knew? And we're almost out of oxygen. That was not what I wanted. I think I just wasted that. Okay, yep, I just wasted that medical supply. Damn it. Okay. working. All these things we gotta do just to get everything started. Now, on the plus side, like I was saying before, there is a benefit here, and that benefit is that we are able to set ourselves up. Might as well pick up that one as well. We're able to go ahead and set ourselves up much better than we would have otherwise. Okay, so I go look at that. I go look at that, and imaginarily it's happy. Let's go ahead and repair this. So I'm just going to make sure that the whole station is in good working order. And then we can get everything started. So you'll notice that there's two devices there that need a little bit of explaining, and we'll do that here in a second. Let's go ahead and flip the lights off. Alright. Alright, so the first thing they want us to do is to power up and pressurize the station. And that's a really good idea, and one of the cool things is that we already start with enough raw materials that we can mostly get this done, and the system actually generates a lot more now than it did before. It used to be the air system generated like 2 oxygen per cycle, and now it does 20. So we're going to go ahead and unload that, throw the nitrogen into the system here, go back to the refinery, toss the oxygen in there and some nitrates, and go ahead and refine. So while that's running, you'll see that our air tank here is filling up way faster because our output is much higher, but also our consumption on this thing is way higher as well. This used to be like 200 or 300, and now it's considerably higher. But between all of the components, we're only really pushing a little bit over, I want to say 1.5K, 1.6. So we should have just enough air. If I let this finish out filling up, we should have enough to basically fill everything up. And we'll go ahead and stop there and let the system start recharging, and we will start pressurizing the main part of the station. Leave the ship unpressurized for now. Now you can see we're getting everything together here. Everything is happy. And we got a really expensive nanite core right there. But one of the things I wanted to bring to your attention is this blueprints tab. This shows you what you can and cannot build yet. So like for instance, I can build a crowbar as a weapon. It's the only weapon I have currently that I can build that hopefully I can use for stuff. I can't build any ammunition, although I do have that ammunition. I could learn it. I can build a tier 1 drill and a tier 1 drill bit. I can build a welding torch, and I could probably learn fire extinguisher too. I can use it. I can create a tier 1 battery. I can create tier 1 versions of the suits that I already have, and I can create the stim pack that I used. I can create the military grade nanite cores for tier 1 and the nanite core tier 1s and warp cells. And then I can create the tier 1 raw resource containers and the little handheld jobbies. But other than that, I am basically shit out of luck. So let's go ahead and turn on the air filter as they are requesting and pop our mask. Okay, it wants me to pressurize the main room, so I'm going to depress first. And that ends that quest. Now I can pick up the next quest there, but I don't want to do that just yet. I want to recharge my pack. And oh, I don't have any oxygen. Oh, because it's all here. Unload. So we're low on oxygen now, for all intents and purposes. Although we do have a little bit in the system here. Okay, so refill that, put it back on. Let's refill these guys. I feel like somebody needs to redo the packs here, because you used to be able to see which one was O2 and which one was not, and now they're just two big bright lines. So I feel like they kind of need to fix that. Okay, take this. That will go in there so that I don't accidentally waste any more. Okay. So the ship on top, we're actually going to get rid of. How much do you have in you? You have 0. Alright, so here's how you do your research. Let me power everything up here. Put that away for a second. Alright, so power up the Fabricator. Shut down that, turn that on. Alright. So, in order for everything to work, since we don't currently have the ability to make fire extinguishers, we're going to go ahead and research them. So you have two devices here. You have your grinder. This turns whatever you chuck into it into raw resources that you can use. And this one does research. So whatever you throw in here, it'll break it down and figure out how to make it. So I close that, and now boom, go up to my blueprints, and tools, and now we have the ability to make fire extinguishers. So these other ones that are the higher tiers, you have to actually find a part of that higher tier in order to make them. So I'm going to go ahead and it is time for me to get my kids ready to go to the movies, so we're going to end this real quick, but I can throw that one in, and boom, now we know how to make the tier 1 rifle ammo, or the tier 1 6mm rifle ammo. And we've got some resources here, and we've got these shattered plates. Now, the shattered plates are going to go right in here, and that's this red one. Alright, always be mindful of that red, because you don't want to put anything that you don't want to destroy. See right down there how much you're getting for it. So, worth 40 carbon fiber, which is really good for us. But we're going to go ahead and put our resources into the system now, because all of these containers actually gave us a fair bit of supplies. So we're going to start with this one here. Alright, and this just contained some hydrogen and other materials, which is nice, but the real value behind that is that it is a thing that we don't yet know how to make, so we can take it and put it into our system. Now the ferrite, that's really valuable for us right now, because that's like our starting supply of being able to make anything. So that goes in there, and we'll unload all of those. Alright, so that gives us some basic supplies to work with. And we're going to go ahead and put these guys up here because we'll need them for our mining. So we have those there for mining purposes with this drill here. While we're at it, let's go ahead and place the components into this drill. So we're going to put the battery in for 100% charge. We're going to put the drill bit in. That will help us. Keep that on us for now. We'll put our new fire extinguisher that's mostly charged in where that other one was. Alright, so, and if you notice, there's actually a spot for a capacitor cell there now. But this is where we're going to cut off at this point, because I don't want to go any further, because I have other places to be. But we will come back and we will revisit all the fun and pleasantries. Oh yeah, but I wanted to learn that container so that I can use it in the future if I need to build one. So we're going to take this guy right here, put it in there, and now that is part of our blueprints. So now we have the Tier 1 resource container. So, excellent. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. We used it over here, but we have not learned it. We don't know the part yet. And that's this guy right here. We used it to reduce the resource costs for generating our oxygen. But now that we've done that, we've generated our air, we want to learn this part so that if we need to build any more of them in the future, that we'll be able to at least build a Tier 1 resource injector. So that gives us at least a little bit to start with. And we really need to get some weapons, among other things. So let's take a look in here. So now that we have done that, we can move those over there. We can look at what we can actually build. And as you can see, there's a fairly small limit of the things that we can actually construct. We're going to need this nickel iron, which we get from that ferrite, but we're going to need a ton of that stuff, and we're going to need a ton of these carbon fibers and whatnot in order to be able to progress any further. So until next time, I think that we're going to go ahead and cut it off here, and we're going to start exploring to see what our options are moving forward now that we've gotten ourselves set up here. And I'm just going to go ahead and attach that one right there, so that way we have that drill is all set to go. And until next time, yeah, looks like that'll last for about 5 days in this current orbit, hopefully. What are our other ones? That'll last for 2 days. So hopefully that will get it all squared away. Until next time, I'm Wrath. I hope that you enjoyed, and I will catch you on the flip side.